Let's go ahead and redo the walk as we did a couple years ago to show the difference that's really happened to our neighborhood in through here, through this area of the flats. Really interesting to see really where they are at the demolition stage of getting rid of buildings in through here that are going to be, they need lots in certain parts of this area on both sides of the bridge in order to be able to rebuild this new bridge and to process everything that's coming down in the demolition as well. So we're going to go check up on this. We're coming up on Anderson here. So then, oh, this is where it all gets different. Wow, I didn't expect to see that all pink. When did they do that? That must have been within the last few days. Some cute artwork up in through here. Nice. There's been a few changes recently. We're looking towards the glorious 6th Street Bridge. And, we're about to go see Greece on top of the 4th Street Bridge. It was originally scheduled to be on top of the 6th Street Bridge. But so many people wanted to, just enjoy, the area and everything and have a one last hurrah with the bridge as part of our skyline. And we're going to be doing that, but I'm recreating this walk that we did to see what has changed since we've last done this. And what's really funny that I think about it is that the other day I was watching Born in East LA, right? So what happens is that the door that Cheech goes in to the plant that gets the place that gets raided, it's actually right there back behind us. And that's the one. So it's it's funny that you can still recognize the doorways and everything after all this time. Now over to the left we have Shalom and Sons. Shalom and Sons has been for well over 20 years the exclusive distributor of kosher wines for most brands here in Los Angeles, and they're being displaced by the move. Right next to it used to be another kosher plant. What's actually catching my attention right here is that the paper plant here. It's funny to see. I didn't expect to see this. I knew that they were going to be taking down this building. This building here actually belonged to Shalom and Sons. This was actually the only one that the city really wanted in the end. However, this building here that used to be here, it mostly was used for the housing of the wines, the grape juice, all the kedem stuff. It was all kept in this building right here. And now it's been demolished. The city also, purchased this property here, part of Shalom and Sons. And they told me that they're planning on, trying to regroup and relocate to Vernon. As the plant that used to be here, right next door, this used to be the Teva kosher food plant. They used to do meat, hummus, tahina, salatim, stuff like that. They were demolished a few months back, and they've already relocated to Vernon. But yeah. And of course, this area right through the corridor here, and then going into here is what they plan on painting the lines on the grass and the leftover grass, and giving us the soccer park. Oh shit! I can't freaking believe it. They gated off, they gated off this section here, and wow. That's where, that's the area where I told you, where the photo shots were taken for the, Decline of Western Civilization 3, with, that's really funny. I was telling Eyeball about that a few weeks back. But we can't even get over to there. I was going to try to recreate that whole little scene, but I can't do it. Well, I could get into there, but I'd get in trouble. We can't do that on camera. So, and let's go back here just real quick. One of the things that I've always loved about being under the bridge here as I walk through it, because this used to be, Anderson would be part of my old route that I would use to get back home. It was the easiest way for me to get from my friend's house who were, on First Street, to get back home for, catch the bus going directly home. So I would come walking under here, but I've always loved, just looking through the pillars and seeing the buildings just kind of towering in through them. Remember when the dog used to be there? Dog spot?
I remember Bridge Dog.
Bridge Dog. Freaking love that dog. And that's really a question that I have is, what happened to a lot of people who, are actually living under here, who had businesses and lived side by side, with their own little apartment or their own little get-up, right next to their businesses. But it's, for me, it's really, really sad that they're not doing anything really majorly to develop this area, because, they thought so well about integrating, entertainment and social space and artistic space so that it could get paid for as part of the bridge contract. But they didn't really think of doing anything for us significantly on this huge 3,000 foot part of this bridge. They still haven't, dedicated to really doing anything. It's also sad to see that the last two commercial Jewish businesses of our area are leaving. And again, I have to point out that the reason that these businesses are leaving is because of displacement, because of roadworks, which has always been the case. It's been the case since the beginning of our history, when the freeway started coming through and displaced 10,000 people. Throughout the east side. Many Jewish families were torn apart, their businesses torn asunder, and they had to move on to another place where they weren't constantly at risk of being uprooted and really losing all their investment again. But it's a real sad end. It's a real sad end to all of this. I hope in time that as we really focus more on trying to get resources for the Boyle Heights community into here, that is meaningful and significant, and makes it a cultural space for our community. I can only hope that as we, start adding, real equitable cultural elements for the east side of the bridge, for our Latino community on the east side of the bridge. Also paying homage to all of the different cultures that were here, not just the Jewish community, but the Russians, when this area was called Russian Flats. I really think we really need to do more on trying to inlay artistic expression and keep it alive here in this area. And if we do that, I'm sure I'm going to, learn to love the new bridge. But, right now, it's just really hard to see really the glory of the city. The glory of the city. In her last days before she's turned to rubble.